Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to Blazy B, where I'm blazed and I'm B. And this episode's gonna be a bit different. I kind of want to chat, and since I've got a platform, I thought, hey, why not talk about this? Cause okay, yeah. I use humor to cope, so bear with me. We're gonna talk about sexual assault. So if you don't want to hear about it or you don't feel comfortable and you just want to turn it off, go for it. Choose another episode. But if you want to be on my healing process of something that happened to me, then bear with me and let's chat because I just want to get it off my chest. Because I feel like it's been eating me and I don't want it to have that fucking power. So this is my way of getting it out there and off of me and out of just my entire energy, I don't know, circle that I have around me. I mean, I radiate light and this has been like a little dark speck and it's fucked up. It's honestly fucked up. Anyways, so with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. Again, sorry I'm humorous with it, but this is how we cope and this is how we heal. So, yeah, be along for the ride. Let's do this. Okay, so I went to a wedding. Wedding was fucking fire. And basically, I had been set up for kind of weeks, told like, when you go to a wedding and you know a lot of people that are going to be there. So you're kind of planning it out. And I mean, this is also like a TMI episode. So if you just don't want to get that deep, that's fine too. Click her off. Next episode. But excuse me. Yeah. I'm starting to sweat. My heart rate's going up. Whew, man, subjects that are uncomfortable to talk about are something. And man, it's the challenges that make us who we are. So we're getting through this together, which is cool. Anyways, so this wedding, I'm pumped about this wedding. I know there's gonna be people there. The bridal party has kind of been like setting me up with this guy. They're like, oh my gosh, you guys have a few things that you're, not in common, but it's a wedding, it's a one night situation. Your guys' vibes are very similar. Like I could never see you dating, but I could definitely see you banging. I'm like, bet, cool. I know nothing more about this guy. I'm just letting her ride. I'm just excited for this wedding. I might get my world rocked and I'm pumped for it. So I go to this wedding. I look good. I am having a great time. This guy has still not shown up. This guy is still not showing up. He shows up late and he makes an entrance. Not only is he's 6'11". Let's repeat that. 6'11". That's like about 7 foot tall. This man is tall. He's wearing like a cowboy hat. He's in a suit. He looks good. And he's got a vibe. He really does. He's a schmoozer. He's just like suave motherfucker. He comes right in, obviously he's fucking massively tall. Like everyone's gonna notice this guy, but he's also like good friends with a lot of these people. So he's making his rounds. I'm like, ooh, this is the boy that I've been set up with. Like, ooh, heart rate up. Like, oh my God. And so it goes on like that. Finally, he kind of makes his way over and he's like, I've heard we're supposed to meet. And I'm like, oh, yes, I have heard such things. This is good. And so we chat a little bit. All right, vibes, chill. Takes me out on the dance floor. Nothing makes me more in heat than a man that can dance. Let's go. And at one point, obviously this motherfucker's tall. He gets down on his knees and he's twirling me around on his knees. And I mean, woof. I am melting. I am just melting. I cannot wait for whatever this night may be. And so anyways, I end up spending the night at the hotel, and then he ends up coming back to my apartment the next day. And so we go back to the hotel, right? The reception is in a hotel, and things are fine. Things are good. Things are like okay. And he's a bit rough. He's a bit drunk. Okay. I'm into rough, but not this rough. It's like good until it's not good. It's too far. It's no, I don't. And like immediate reactions to physical pain. You know what I mean? Um, oh my God. But nothing you can't like bounce back from. You do it at like the end, you build up to this thing, and then it just like too much, and your body just like goes into like a little shock and fucking fight or flight. And but then it like backs off and it like starts over, so you're like, okay, maybe this is what people do. They go this fucking hard. But and then I'm like, well, I'm not other people, I I don't like that. That's too far. So I'm like, I don't like that. That's too far. I'm a 32-year-old female. I now have a voice. So I'm using it. And I'm like, that's too far. I don't like that. Okay. Kind of like, okay. And then backs off, but then fucking does something again and harder. And I'm like, first of all, literally tense, fight or flight. And I'm like, no, I, no. And then it's gaslighting. You do like that. No, you like that. And I'm like, no, I fucking don't. That's not cool. This is just a little too, just back it off 10% and we're vibing. But like, that's too much. And it's like, no, no, it's not. I'm like, what the fuck? And that gets to you. After a while of hearing that, you do start to believe that. And I'm like, well, maybe. Then I'm like, no, I motherfucking don't. This hurts. And then all of a sudden, my lip's not like bleeding, get my fucking lip ripped open. Okay, great. And but then the gentleness happens again. It sucks you back in. It's this whole fucking manipulation, cat and mouse game. And I fucking fell for it. I was there for it. I cannot, like, looking back, you're like, how? I mean, I saw red flag after red flag after red flag, and it was just pushed to the side. And maybe it's because I did not have a male's attention for like a year, but still, that's that's sad. That's fucking sad. And I don't know. It just to be schmoozed and pulled in. I I felt special, and then you're in pain for a second, but then it's like too much. All these things are adding up, and I'm like, this is too much. Like, stop. So then I just end up being like tense. I will say sex was great because I was on top. I'm in control of that at that point. He's fucking ginormous. So glad he didn't smush me. So that was the nice part. I'm in control on top. We're all good there. But everything else, I was pinned down at one point. And then I was like, "Oh, that hurts, like, too much," and I'm wiggling to get loose, and it's just being pushed harder. And every time I said no, every time I said stop, it was not respected, not fucking heard. It took a million times, and then it's like nothing. At one point, I fucking flipped and walked out of the room and just I mean, the thing is, I was vocal the entire time. I'm like, you are an asshole. You are a fucking dickhead. You are putting me in this situation. Like, no, this is not what I want. And then it's just pushback is like, come on, you do want it. And then a compliment, and then a compliment, then a pull in. And then just like this manipulation that gets to you because there's something that draws you in. Oh, and I feel like in the past, I'm like, how do people get in these situations? Like, Jesus Christ, how would you ever get in this situation? And then me, of all fucking people, is in this situation. and I'm not being held hostage. My car is outside. I could leave. I could have not invited him over to my apartment. Like there are so many things, but it was just life happened. I oh my gosh, and it oh, it ate me for a while. I mean, it still is like with me, but man, after it happened, like the next day, okay, he's at my apartment, but it kind of just like ebbed and flowed, but it just kept getting kind of progressively worse. And then at one point, it just got bad. And oh, I mean, anyways, well, yeah, anyways, so I'm like, he's in my bed taking a nap for the longest time. And at one point at the beginning, he was like, I got to leave by this point to drive back. And I'm like, sweet, bet. It's a one night situation or like a 24-hour situation. So, like, okay, I'm like bearing through all of this. I don't know why. I'm like partially into it, but also fearful of whatever's about to happen to me at any point. And then he's like okay over at my apartment. And so he needs to leave at some point, but he keeps putting off my alarm, keeps putting off his alarm. And I'm like, you gotta go, you gotta go. And he's like, oh, just longer, longer, longer. I'm like watching Ted Lasso, and Rebecca inspires me when she's like, okay, remember Ted Lasso. Rebecca sleeps with some dude in the hotel room, and then she's like sneaking out. And then she realizes, oh my gosh, this is my hotel room. And he goes, oi, get the fuck out. And so that truly got into me. And I was like, fuck yeah, Rebecca. This is my place. Get the fuck out of my apartment. And so I set an alarm and I made it very loud and I made it go very long. And then I was like, oi, you gotta go. It's time to go. And he was just like, oh, okay. And like gathered up his stuff really quick and kind of shuffled out. So it was but it kind of just built up into this whole fucking thing. And I was like, this is my day off and you are in my space for far too long. But like at that point, I'm like still not as like, I don't know, I'm still in this kind of delusion, But the next day, I think is when it all hit, when I got out of the shower and I'm looking at my body and I've just got bruises on my neck and there's hickeys on my neck, there's bite marks. I have a literal mouth bite mark on my bicep and just like little bruises kind of where thumbs were just pushed in on my shoulders. But then I have a massive fucking bruise on my elbow and like lower just middle arm. And oh, once you see the evidence, it like all hit. Like I I was being gaslit. I like this but and then I kept telling myself it was like consensual sexual assault because I was in it. But then I had a friend be like, Brittany, you said no. You said stop. What about this was consensual in your mind of getting like that pain and these bruises, being left with a busted fucking lip and all these bruises? My ass was just like slapped too hard, too many times. And oh, yes, people are into this. Yes, people, I don't know. And obviously he's into this, but I feel like still you no means no, stop means stop. And there is a difference in tones. I even told him at one point after calling him an asshole for so many times, I was like, literally, you have put my body into flight or flight so many times. Like, you are a fear based flirter. And he giggled and loved that term. He's like, yeah, kind of, yeah. What the actual fuck is that? I'm not into that. I am a sunshine and motherfucking rainbows. And you are here just like demeaning, asking me questions. And then if I ask you similar things, it's like, why the fuck do you have any right to ask me that? And then I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, I don't know, but then the compliments around everything that just keeps pulling you in, it was so fucked up. And I mean, it took me probably 2 days for my shoulders to relax. I I was so tense. I slept at the hotel and I think I just well, also, he's 6 foot fucking 11. So you're sleeping diagonal in a king size bed and he's fitting that length and then I'm in a corner just like kind of tucked in. I'm a thick girl, but I'm short. So I kind of, I'm there. But oh, tense, tense. And then just like, I don't know, everything about it, I felt like I had to guard myself, yet I was still in the situation. Why did I not leave at any fucking point? I have no idea. I have no idea. Maybe it was because I was like so pumped for this setup and it was through friends, and you're just like, of course, this is going to be some fucking great times. You know what I'm saying? These are homies, homies of homies. Nothing's going to, that's the thing about going with homies of homies is that nothing should go wrong. Like, okay, you might not have like a connection or the best evening of your life, but you know that you're not going to get murdered, you know? But even with the bestest homies, you have no idea that they're going to fucking sexually assault someone. No idea. And so, anyways, I just kept beating myself because then I'm wondering you know what I mean? Why did I not leave? I just keep putting myself on that. And then I'm like, this is not my fucking fault. This happened to me. And I don't it was a fucked up situation. And then it was like the election right after that. And it was just a lot. So it was interesting because my cousin even Snapchatted me and was like, "Hey, you've been MIA lately. Like where you've been at? Where's all your vids?" And then I'm like, "No, I haven't." But I feel like subconsciously I was MIA. That was eating me and I felt all sorts of ways about it and it was so fucked up. And the greatest thing is oh my gosh. So I go to work and I'm a baker. I can't wear long sleeves, but I totally understood. Like there was so many times I'm like thinking this is what domestic violence is like. Like people that are in these relationships. You're just this like wounded situation that you keep coming back to. Oh my gosh. It's a whole thing. The Stockholm syndrome, just all the things. So anyways, having these thoughts, and it was just, oh my God, like how could this happen to me? And then I go to work, right? Count Baker, yes, it's just long sleeve. And so I'm like, well, I can't cover them up. I just gotta fucking go for it. And I mean, my bruises were bad. And that was the question. I mean, people were excited about this wedding for me. And so the question on Tuesday was, how was it? It was so great, da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh, bride was great, all this, da, 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 da. And then they asked about, so and so that you were supposed to, hang out with. How was that? And then it's like I'm always an open book, and I thought this is an open book subject. Like, well, it was good until it wasn't. And then my bruises, I didn't even go into detail, but you just see it on my body. You can see all these bruises. They're very apparent. And honestly, I have the best fucking staff in the world. They were so kind. And I think it's a message to these high schoolers too. They're like, this happened to you, Brittany fucking Sunderman. I'm like, yeah, man, it can truly happen to anybody. All of any of this, any assault, anything can truly happen to anyone. So it's just the support we get after and what we do with our situation. So this one is no fucking longer holding power over me. And I release it. I came home and I wrote like 4 pages of notes of everything that happened. And I just keep looking at them and I feel like they're like these evil pages. So I'm going to burn them. And this is my release episode. And I'm really glad that I talked about it. So if you hung around this long, thank you. Um, yeah, it was something fucking fierce. And I never want to go through that again. So looking out for the red flags. I don't want to stay guarded though, because I don't want this to have any sort of shift on my positive energy. So I'm not going to let it. That's my choice. So I hope everyone can support me in that. And yeah, Blazy B gets a little serious this time, but thanks for riding along. See you next time. Ciao, ciao for now.